Evening, everyone, and welcome to Children's Story Time. Today's story is about spies in the promised land. Sit tight and let's get ready for this journey.
Spies in the promised land. God had given his people new rules for living, and now it was time for him to bring them to their new home, the land he had promised them. As they got closer, they wondered, what would it be like? Would it be just as wonderful as God had said? So God told Moses, send 12 men to explore the land. Moses sent the men off to find out everything they could about this new place. The spies crept quietly into the land and saw that it was incredible. It was everything God had promised it would be. There was just one problem. There were already people living in the land, and they were big, and they were scary. The spies rushed back to tell everyone the news. This land is green, beautiful, and full of delicious things to eat, pomegranates and figs. And look at these gigantic grapes. It was far better than they had dreamed it would be. It's amazing, they said, and everything is huge. But so are the people who were living there. There's no way we can get past that. The spies were so scared that soon everyone else was scared too. In fact, they were terrified. But wait, not everyone was worried. Two of the spies were different. Caleb and Joshua trusted God because they remembered Egypt. They remember how God had rescued them. They remember that God keeps his promises, which meant this promised land would be theirs. Don't worry, Caleb and Joshua told everyone. God has told us to go into the land. He is with us. But instead of obeying, God's people grumbled. Instead of trusting in God's love, they were fearful. They even wondered if life back in Egypt was better working as Pharaoh's slaves. Here they were, on the edge of the incredible land God had promised to give them. It was everything they needed. But instead of trusting God, they were questioning him. God was not pleased. His own people had not trusted in his love. Because they refused to go into the promised land, God sent tribes back into the desert. Few of them were there that day would ever return. But Joshua and Caleb would one day enter the promised land because they had trusted God. In fact, Joshua would become the new leader, and he would lead God's people into their promised land. God's plan for his people hadn't changed, and neither had his love. One day, he would give them another chance.
What an amazing story. Spies in the promised land, where God actually sent his people out to check out the promise he had for them. And because of what they've seen, some were a little fearful, some were frightened because there were giants in the land. Have you ever been in a situation where something in your life seems so big that you cannot handle it? But when we begin to trust in God, just as Caleb and Joshua did, there is nothing too hard for us. So keep that in mind. Trust in God in everything you do. Amen.
every month. I need to see each and every one of you on Sunday at 11:30